morning, I have a great news.
The Istanbul butcher started his culinary journey with a $3,400 loan, which led to his global success. Salt Bae emerged from his humble beginnings to earn millions as a worldwide sensation who attracts celebrities to his restaurants and millions of online viewers. The public image which built his fame ended up destroying everything he worked to create. His empire began to crumble between 2025 and 2027 with 5 out of 7 US restaurants shutting down and celebrities distancing themselves from him while the internet labeled him as embarrassing. The legend of a viral sensation transformed one man into a lawsuit-triggering figure who faced worldwide online mockery and watched his restaurants shut down one after another. The rise of a butcher to billionaire draw. What exact journey helps you move from butchery in Istanbul to having Leonardo DiCaprio and Drake stand in line for your food? Nusret Gökçe began his journey with scarred hands and a vision that seemed unattainable. Imagine this dude sweating it out behind the butcher block in Istanbul, the 14-hour workdays. The money never stretched far enough to cover rent. His bloody hands and aching back bore witness to the hard work he did at the cutting boards. There was no romantic tale behind his cooking journey. Every day he worked to survive. The meat cutter Nusret lived like everyone else while dreaming of a better life. Everything changed from that single decisive moment. He gathered $3,400 through a loan to stake his entire business on it. That's right, $3,400 was all he had to create his life's work. The majority of people would consider the amount ridiculous to invest in the restaurant business. The story reaches a turning point at this moment. Billionaire investor Ferit Sahenk walked into the tiny restaurant and saw something special about Nusret and his meat handling. When January arrived in 2017, Nusret uploaded a straightforward video showing him sprinkle salt on a steak. His sunglasses, that mustache, the way he dramatically let the salt fall down his forearm before hitting the meat. That viral moment transformed him into an international meme and gave him instant cultural cachet. The online community went absolutely crazy about it. People started calling him Salt Bae. People everywhere wanted to imitate his famous salt sprinkle. Social networks became saturated with memes. The late-night hosts began cracking jokes about him. The person who used to struggle with rent payments suddenly became the most recognized chef on the entire planet. This was the point where things started to go completely out of control. The business expanded to open restaurants in top-tier cities worldwide. The most expensive cities in the world welcomed his steakhouse concept in Miami, as well as New York and London and Dubai. These establishments functioned as theatrical food shows that featured 24-karat gold steaks and $1,800 tomahawks. People came to dine but left with a unique experience of watching Salt Bae perform his routine. The celebrities came running. Some of the biggest stars in the world, including DiCaprio and Beckham and Ronaldo, visited his restaurants. Drake shared his Salt Bae dinner through Instagram stories. DJ Khaled, along with Cristiano Ronaldo and David Beckham, wanted their opportunity to meet the man who turned salt sprinkling into an iconic move. These A-listers would join the regular folks in waiting for their turn to watch the man season their food. The brilliance of Nusret's concept became apparent. Nusret developed a concept which no amount of money could purchase. People did not buy the top steak that existed. They made the purchase for the purpose of showing off. People wanted to upload videos of their dinners that Salt Bae salted. Inside Nusret himself, something started to change even as his success reached its peak. The experience of success feeds an unseen danger within people. The individual who previously fretted about rent payments was about to experience the unmentioned costs of fame. The ego explosion that changed everything. Success began to develop dangerous elements in his personality. When does confidence cross the line into dangerous arrogance? Nusret experienced this transition when he sat before the cameras and declared his worldwide influence. Now everybody wants to be a butcher because of me. They see me as an idol. I'm an inspiration to a lot of people in a short time, Nusret bragged in interviews. This wasn't just confidence talking. This was a man who had completely bought into his own hype. He started making decisions based on feeding his ego instead of running a smart business. The shift happened fast. Remember that humble butcher who used to worry about paying rent? He was gone. In his place stood someone obsessed with staying in headlines. Nusret stopped focusing on perfecting his restaurants. He started perfecting his image instead. Every move became calculated for maximum attention. Every stunt had to be bigger than the last one. The warning signs were flashing bright red as early as 2018. Nusret decided to add fire to his tableside performances. Literal fire. He would dramatically light steaks on fire right in front of guests. Sounds cool, right? Except when you're dealing with open flames in crowded restaurants, things go wrong fast. That September, a tableside fire stunt went horribly wrong. A young Czech model named Tojnis Tenikova suffered third-degree burns over 35% of her body. She spent months in the hospital. The posts were deleted, but no public apology followed. Then came the moment that showed just how tone-deaf his ego had made him. Nusret held a lavish dinner celebration for President Nicolas Maduro at a time when Venezuela was facing one of its most severe economic downturns. People were literally starving in the streets. Families couldn't afford basic food. There was Salt Bae, posting videos of himself feeding gold-covered steak to a dictator while his country suffered. The immediate backlash became both forceful and direct. Protesters showed up outside his Miami and New York restaurants. U.S. Senator Marco Rubio publicly condemned the move, calling Nusret out for hosting the overweight dictator of a nation where 30% of people only eat once a day. Social media exploded with anger. People who used to admire him were now disgusted by his complete lack of awareness. But here's the scary part. Each controversy just seemed to make Nusret hungry for more attention. He wasn't learning from his mistakes. He was doubling down on them. The pattern became crystal clear. This was a man who cared more about staying relevant than about the damage he was causing. Every decision started coming from the same place. How can I get more headlines? How can I shock people? How can I stay in the news cycle? The ego that had built his empire was now driving choices that would systematically tear everything down. But his biggest mistake was still coming, and it would happen on the world's biggest stage. The World Cup disaster that broke the internet. December 18th, 2022, the FIFA World Cup final, when Argentina beat France. The image shows Lionel Messi holding the World Cup trophy as a random chef reaches for it while the cameras show his clear discomfort. Salt Bae attempted to enter the main sporting event of the world during its biggest occasion. The World Cup final between Argentina and France became the most dramatic match in the tournament's history. The athletes gathered to honor the most important achievement of their sporting careers. The spectators in the stands showed their tears. Fans across the globe experienced overwhelming joy. Salt Bae managed to appear on the field while he wore his usual sunglasses and performed as though he was taking pictures during the World Cup celebration. FIFA started an inquiry about his stadium entry method before they banned him from attending any upcoming events. But there he was, despite having absolutely no official role in the celebration. The situation which followed became unbearable to witness. Salt Bae started chasing players around the pitch. He forced Lisandro Martinez to take a selfie, which the defender actively tried to avoid. He forced himself into group photos where he obviously didn't belong. Players kept trying to politely escape, but this guy wouldn't take the hint. The internet experienced a complete shutdown during this historic moment. Salt Bae rushed forward when he noticed the World Cup trophy. This is the most sacred object in football. Players dream their entire lives just to touch it. The system only allows authorized users to access this function. Salt Bae showed no interest in the situation. He grabbed the trophy like it was a prop for his Instagram story. The cameras caught Messi's reaction perfectly. The expression of pure annoyance and discomfort appeared on the face of the greatest player of all time as he attempted to escape from the clout chaser who spoiled his moment. The entire world became angry in an instant. Football fans from every country started calling him out. The social media platforms showed widespread user rage. People were furious that someone with no connection to football had disrespected the sport's most sacred moment. The hashtags trending weren't celebrating his appearance. People wanted to know the details about the event. The public turned into rage after his first failed attempt because people believed he stole someone else's spotlight, which led to the decline of his social standing. The single instant launched Salt Bae into worldwide mockery, although he already held fame as a chef. The video clips spread through social media, but people started mocking the subject instead of showing their admiration. This wasn't just bad publicity. The entire world united to watch as Salt Bae destroyed all his remaining dignity. The public spectacle, which brought him fame, now worked against him by bringing him down to infamy. The effects will arrive immediately after the transition occurs. when the house of cards came crashing down. The restaurant empire began its decline at a speed which no one expected. When celebrities who used to beg for reservations decide to avoid your restaurants, then you know your empire is falling apart. That's exactly what happened to Salt Bae after the World Cup disaster. Social media platforms started making fun of each other. People weren't calling him iconic anymore. The comment section started filling up with people who accused her of seeking attention while making fun of her. TikTok users started creating parody videos. Twitter users created memes which showed his efforts to stay in the spotlight. Millions of people watched viral videos which showed funny customer service encounters because of their unprofessional conduct. The celebrity departure proved to be severe. A-list celebrities who used to visit his restaurants at international destinations now regarded him as completely untouchable. Behind the scenes, things were getting even uglier. Former employees started speaking out about what it was really like to work for this guy. The employees described their workplace environment as an incredibly toxic place. Staff members talked about living in constant fear. The staff members described their work environment as being equally dangerous as the Hunger Games. People feared mistakes because Nusrat's anger was well known. The legal problems started piling up fast. Employees told investigators management deducted a 3% fee from bills and sometimes prevented tips from reaching servers. Courts ordered multi-$100,000 settlements. Salt Bae distributed about $230,000 among 4 employees who worked in New York during 2019 because of tip-related issues, then settled a class action lawsuit for $300,000 because of the 3% deduction. Reports surfaced about passport confiscation and massive overtime abuse. The company staff members experienced worker abuse as if they were prisoners instead of normal employees. The financial data from the company operations started to show its actual situation. By mid-2025, 5 of his 7 U.S. locations had closed. The industry sources show London experienced a revenue decline, which reached about 30 to 31%. His Beverly Hills flagship, the crown jewel of his American empire, shut down completely. The operational emergency became visible. London personnel needed to deactivate their heating equipment during their busiest times to save money. The new prices created such a big problem that customers began to lose their interest in the company. Salt Bae used to say, "Quality is never expensive with a straight face." The company failed to achieve customer acquisition. The customers started telling each other about their bad dining experiences, which came with shocking price tags. Social media users posted numerous reviews about their expensive steak dinners, which ended up being overcooked. Social media users posted videos about their poor dining experiences, while the comment sections became extremely harsh. The public gathered to watch his show, but now they have turned their backs on him. Salt Bae showed that viral fame without real substance is completely unsustainable. People will eventually discover the truth behind your ego-based performance foundation. The transformation was complete, from global icon to cautionary tale. Conclusion. The brand built on showmanship unravels when it lacks any real substance. The ego-driven conduct of Salt Bae led to his downfall, which shows that performance and ego do not replace proper management and high-quality work. The legal settlements over tip theft, the third-degree burns from his fire stunts, the toxic workplace culture, these weren't accidents. The news stories became the natural result of media organizations choosing to report on breaking news instead of human interest stories. The numbers show the cruel reality. 5 of 7 U.S. locations closed. London revenues dropped 30%. Multiple lawsuits and settlements. He built an empire through meme culture which sustained itself until the audience lost interest in the meme. His dedication to his work destroyed all the things he claimed to value most in life, including his respect and admiration and his legacy. His story now serves as a warning about the dangerous path fame takes when it fuels ego instead of encouraging accountability. If you found this analysis helpful, then please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Drop a comment section exists to discuss Nusrat's ability to recover from his current situation.